Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to our 10th annual H. Tessel Speech Contest. Thank you for being here today, and I want to give a special thank you to our contestants and our judges and everyone who has helped organize this event today. I'd now like to introduce Kim Chapman, our Vice President of Instruction.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. It's good to be here. Well, Dr. Singh, president of the college, wanted to be here today. I think he typically has a welcome for you, but unfortunately he's off campus today. He couldn't be here, so, but I'm delighted to be able to have the honor to welcome you to the 10th annual speech contest. It's really exciting. And I'm guessing you all are the contestants today, the speakers, and you all look like winners already. So it's going to be good. It's going to be good. Well, thank you again. 10 years, it's pretty impressive. We're so glad to have this program here at Edmonds. We've had this long-standing partnership, and it's really special to bring all of the students to campus and give you this experience and get to know us a little bit in the Pacific Northwest. So I won't hold you back because I know you're all excited and anxious to get started. But thank you and good luck to you.
Today's contest will feature 3 finalists from each of our 3 classes, competing within their respective levels. We'll start with the B class speakers, followed by the A class, and then conclude with the C class. The speaking order within each class will be determined by a random drawing. Our judges will evaluate each speech based on its content, inspiration, delivery, eloquence, and emotional impact, sincerity. We will now begin with Emily selecting the first student to speak from Class B. Emily? You me.
Do you think you can always express your feelings as you wish? How do you express your feelings? With words? Or are there things more important than words? From this study abroad experience, I learned that expressing my feelings is not limited to words. Let me start by sharing why I decided to study abroad. Before coming here, I wasn't good at expressing my feelings. I always placed importance on verbal communication, but I felt a lot of pressure. Because I struggled to put my feelings into words. Because of this, I often worried about whether my feelings were truly conveyed to others. I wanted to change this part of myself. I believed that by experiencing how people communicate and express their feelings, not only in Japan, but around the world, would give me some hints to improve myself. So I decided to study abroad. On my first day here, I wasn't only not good at expressing my feelings, but I also couldn't speak English well. So I was very anxious. But then something happened that reassured me. It was my first hug with my host mother. To be honest, I don't remember what we talked about. But I clearly remember that hug. I felt relieved and I almost cried. Whenever I faced difficulties in adjusting new environment, whether it was struggling with the language barrier, trying to understand cultural differences, or feeling homesick, my host mother was always there for me. She didn't need to say much. Instead, she gave me a warm and reassuring hug. Every time she hugged me, I realized that I don't always need words to express my feelings. Those hugs spoke louder than any word could. And they made me feel safe, loved, and comforted. My host mother's hug gave me the confidence to express myself better. myself better. Now, when I want to express my gratitude, but feel that words just are not enough, I express my gratitude with a hug. I also hug when I want to comfort or encourage someone. I gained new ways to express my feelings. When I return to Japan, I will express my gratitude with a hug to my family and friends who supported me from afar. And also, I am so grateful to everyone who is spending this study abroad with me. Words cannot express it. So please let me hug you. Even when we can't find the right word, we can still express in other ways. I encourage all of you to explore different ways of expressing your feelings, whether through words, actions, or simply being present for someone in need. Please remember, communication goes beyond the word, and small gesture of kindness can make a significant impact on those around you. Thank you for listening.
Hello everyone. I'm Yuto. Today, I want to talk about how studying abroad in Seattle has changed me. You might not notice it at first, but don't you think it's amazing how big and diverse the world is? I mean, look around you right now. We have people from all over the world. Before coming to Seattle, I didn't really understand how big and diverse the world is. But here, I have met many people from different countries with different backgrounds and cultures. This experience has taught me to be more open-minded and to accept people for who they are. I've learned to appreciate for different values and traditions and ways of thinking from my friends. In Japan, I feel like everyone was trying to match one perfect look, as if appearance was everything. But here in the US, a friend told me something important. It's okay to be yourself. Your unique style is what makes you special. But the most important thing is who we are on the inside. Since then, I realized we cannot judge anyone just by their looks. This change opened a new world for me. My friend in Seattle has shown me new ways of thinking and shared their cultures. Sometimes they even cook some food from their home countries, so I could really experience their cultures. Through these friendships, I learned that if we look beyond appearance, we can make deeper connections with people. Also, I want to improve my English so I can understand what my international friends are talking about now. Looking back, I think I've grown up a lot from these experiences. Meeting people from different cultures helped me become more mature. If I can share one message for you, don't look just only by people's appearance. The best relationship comes from seeing people's inside, not their appearance. Thank you for listening.
I'd like to start by asking you all to close your eyes and imagine with me. Picture March 2nd, when you visited this college for the first time. You are looking for your host family. Maybe you are thinking, what should I say first? Will they like me? Now, imagine you are in your room on the first day. You are about to go to the living room. Don't you think, will I be able to speak well? Aren't you scared to talk with your host family? So, I'd like to share what I did in this moment. Oh, I forgot. Please open your eyes again. So, I have another question. Have you ever tried bouldering, which is rock climbing? This summer, I went bouldering for the first time. The bouldering walls are very tall. It looks like 3 times the height of this room. You might think it's just climbing with your hand and feet. Actually, it wasn't that easy. The moment I took the first step off the ground, the floor felt so far away, and my hands and feet started shaking as if I was flying in air. I was unimaginably scared, and I couldn't move anymore. But I really wanted to go to the top of the wall because that was my first time. So I climbed with an empty mind while I was afraid. And finally, when I reached the top, I noticed that the top was closer than I thought. And body strength and skills don't matter if I think I can't climb. Only my mind limited myself. In bouldering, there are moments when fear made me hesitate to climb higher. However, driven by my desire to reach the top, I pushed through the fear and I climbed with a strong mind. And the moment I noticed that the fear doesn't define our limits. Our mindset does. The same lesson applied when I had to change my host families twice. With my first host families, I was scared. Scared of speaking English, scared of not fitting in. So I needed confidence to go to the living room. The fear stopped me from moving forward with my first host family. However, I moved to my second host family. The wall was broken between me and host family because every morning I proactively tried to connect with them, and I spent time in the living room to meet my host family on my day off. Of course, I was still a little scared, but it was better than before. And then, when I met my third host family, I wasn't scared anymore, and we have had really good communication. Through this experience, I realized that I could get over myself while I felt fear. So, I focused on the end goal, the top of the wall, in this case, good communication with my host family. I didn't let fear stop me. This experience taught me that growth happens when we step outside of our comfort zone. I wanted to share with you this lesson. And please remember how you first felt when you meet your first host family. For me, the fear I felt was important to grow up. So I'm grateful for this environment and the people I met who helped me to come to this realization. Thank you for listening.
Hello everyone. We often hear people saying learning a foreign language is hard. I agree with them. Learning a new language feels like a game. What does it mean? We have many new words and conversations thrown at us every day. In like an attack in the game, we have to move and catch and respond to the attack. It can be difficult, but no pain, no gain. Today, I want to focus on the difference between Japanese and English. Let's think about learning Japanese. The number of kanji seem to grow like leveling up against monsters. And hiragana and katakana were like twin brothers against monsters. That refused us. But we learned this language while surrounded by Japanese. Now we have a more difficult game challenge. We have to learn English in a totally new country. As we face a difficult thing, as we take on this adventure in English, will we make it to the end goal? Well, let's start with difference in grammar. We speak Japanese in the order of subject, object, and verb. For example, I, the game, play. But in English, we speak in the order of subject, verb, and object. For example, I play the game. The difference in basic structure is a big barrier for foreign language learners, like me. When I spoke with native speaker during a talk time, I couldn't communicate well because my grammar was a mess. And they looked at me like, "What are you saying?" It felt really difficult, but I wasn't alone. I had a secret weapon to help me. My friends. They helped me try again. Now I can communicate a little better than before. So when we face a difficult thing, we shouldn't give up. We should try using our secret weapon, the friend around us. Then we can try with communicating with new grammar in English. We can try with our friends' help. Also, learning a language use of different characters is a big challenge. English has 26 letters, but Japanese has 3 writing systems: hiragana, katakana, and kanji. I had a lack of vocabulary, so sometimes my host family and friends don't understand me when I send messages. But I didn't give up. I used a secret weapon, translator. Now, my vocabulary is a little better, but I still have a lot of trouble. However, I never give up. Learning and living life is like a game. We can challenges. We can't overcome these challenges. Just like in the game. We need special equipment to succeed. In life, we need the same: friends, family, and teachers. They help me level up. Also, this adventure in language is like a game. As we face challenges and tasks, we get better and move ahead. So sometimes we may get lost or gather items. There must be a happy ending. Are you ready to go the next level? Let's enjoy this game together. Thank you for listening.
Hello, everyone. I have a question for you. Do you know what cost $400 million? $400 million. This is the price of the latest passenger airplane, the Airbus A350. But an airplane like this cannot fly with all people waiting and taking care of it. Are you confused? Let me explain. I'm currently studying abroad, United States, and I learned real meaning appreciation through this experience. In my first 3 months, I had a very helpful roommate. He could speak 3 languages: English, Chinese, and Japanese. He's like a superhero to me. When I arrived here, my English level was very low, but he didn't give up on me. He helped study every night and explained my class material. Sometimes he even made a special study sheet only for me. Without him, I might have given up learning English. I'm enjoying the life in the US because of his support. But in June, he went back his home country and suddenly felt alone. Thus, I realized how much I appreciated his support. When I think about support, I also think about my family in Japan. When I decided to study abroad, my family supported me run away without any hesitation. But I know they were worried at the same time. One of the reasons why they were worried about me was a big financial burden, because we could yen to US dollars. But still, my parents told me, it's okay, go ahead. Sometimes I think about my family during my time in the US, when life here became difficult or when I felt lost in a new culture. They gave message. The words like, you are doing great, always made me feel better. I appreciated their support deeply. How do you show appreciation? It's easy. Just say thank you. Studying abroad gives us new experience and lets us choose our future. It's not just about learning in college, but also about what we experience here in the US. It expands our view and helps us believe in ourselves. For example, even though I faced many cultural differences in the US, this experience gives us different view. I think this is similar to an airplane I mentioned earlier. An airplane needs mechanics, air traffic controller, and pilot to fly. My time in school was like preparing on the runway. And now my life is flying in the sky. There are many destinations I haven't seen yet. And the future is full of possibility and new adventures. The airplane price, as I mentioned earlier, has another meaning. $400 million. What did you think when you heard this price? Maybe felt too much expensive or out of reach. But each of us has a great value. Just like airplane, we need support to reach our full potential. No matter how much I realized this during my time studying abroad. No matter how much expensive an airplane, it cannot fly without help. I am the same. I could come this far because of support from others. I hope all of you can believe in your own value and appreciate the people who supported you as you fly to new horizons. Before I finish my speech, I want to express my appreciation everyone who supported me. Thank you, my roommate. Thank you, my parents. And thank you for all coming and listening today. ありがとう。
Before going abroad, in honest, I really hated English.
So it might be surprising that I can speak English like this now, right? So I love the Japanese language, Japanese food, and Japan itself. If I hadn't had the chance, I definitely wouldn't have wanted to go abroad. What does going abroad mean to you? Is it traveling, studying a foreign language, or maybe making a new friend? For me, going abroad was a chance to reflect myself and grow. When I arrived, I couldn't understand my host family was saying, and it made me want to cry. As I spent more time in America, I realized how little I could do by myself. Speaking, I cannot speak English well. Cooking, I can only cook fried rice. Cleaning, my room was always messy. So I learned how helpless I was. So I decided to try everything I could think of. I started by making a daily plan and trying to follow it. As you know, it was hard, and I wanted to give up so many times, but little by little, I learned more. I started to understand myself better. One experience was especially memorable, spending a week in the mountain. So at first, I was so nervous. I had never imagined spending so much time in nature. Experiencing the beauty and challenges of nature was a great chance to test my limits. That day, I walked for 7 hours with my heavy backpack, my knees shook, and I was out of breath. But while looking at the beautiful mountains, I felt excited about what I'd see next. When I finally reached my destination, I realized this is me. When I do something I love, I can work hard without feeling tired. I was able to like myself a little more. I faced my fears and took a step forward with my courage. It wasn't just a fun trip, but the amazing views I saw and the experience I had with my body are treasures to me. By trying many things, I used to dislike English, but now I found it enjoyable. So everyone, try to challenge your own limits and explore a new world. Let's go find what's beyond the horizon. Now, I feel happy. Why? I find my own treasure through struggle. Thank you for listening.
Why Manami cannot speak English well? A 6-year-old kid asked his mom the first time they met me. I froze for a moment. It was the first time I had ever been confronted with something like that. I've always thought myself as good at speaking and listening. I had confidence in my abilities. However, when I lived in the US, reality hit me hard. People spoke so fast. Even if I could understand them, they struggled to understand me. Then I remember the looks on their faces trying so hard, but still confused. I was frustrated with myself, and that frustration grew every time I tried and couldn't communicate clearly. Living with my host family, even more challenging. My younger housemate joined in a family conversation so easily, but I just sat there, listening, feeling ashamed. Many nights, I didn't want to leave my room except for at dinner. I always wanted to do everything perfectly, from relationships to schoolwork, even simple plans. But you know what? It is really hard to do everything perfectly. Even AI cannot. But I understand that. But if I couldn't be perfect, I felt stupid. I felt worthless. Coming to the US, I thought people expected me to be perfect, especially given the high cost of studying abroad. The idea of failure, of struggling, I couldn't afford it. I didn't want anyone to think I was failing. But then, I realized how lucky I was to have my host family. They speak perfect English, of course. They always have encouraged me. They say things like, "Don't worry, you're always very well. You're speaking well enough." Their words lifted me, helping me say that maybe I was okay. So I realized I needed to step out of my comfort zone. May to July, I volunteered almost every weekend. Even if I didn't catch every word, no one minded if I made mistakes. I just focused on following instructions and asking questions. And you know what? That when things really changed for me. Really changed for me. And even, you know what, that when things really changed for me, people I met during volunteering always complimented me. They say things like, "You speak so well. I love your outfit." These simple, small compliments meant the world to me. In Japan, I hadn't experienced like that appreciation. In the US, people openly acknowledge and celebrate diversity. So, this culture made a cycle of kindness and connections. It made me think, what a wonderful culture. Through these experiences, I realized it's okay not to do perfect like this, you know. It's okay make mistakes, to grow at your own pace. I stopped being so hard by myself, and as a result, I started enjoying my time more. I started studying without all pressure. There are still many challenges ahead for me and for you. But when we face them, I hope we can do our best by embracing who we are, imperfections, and all. Thank you for listening.
Everyone is different, and that's what makes us great. This is a saying of Japanese poet Misuzu Kaneko, highlighting the importance of our individuality and diversity. This is a phrase that many people have probably heard, myself included. I've known it since I was little, but I feel like I didn't really understand it. When I first came to the US, I was filled with anxiety about being in a completely unfamiliar place where different languages were spoken. Still, I was determined to take the plunge. However, I compared myself with others and felt discouraged, thinking, I'm not good enough. For instance, people made friends easily, but I struggled. People could easily talk to strangers, but I couldn't. I know everyone was trying their best, but I felt like I just couldn't do it. After coming here, I spent more time to reflecting on myself and began to think deeply about my relationship with others, abilities, and personality. Seeing my previous self, I felt disappointed, even frustrated with myself. But each time, I felt that I have to do more for the people who supported me, not just to suffer, but to grow. Now, I still compare myself with others sometimes, but I figured out that life is like a coin. It has two sides. As a person who compares her or himself to others, I tend to forget the good side that I have in my life. For example, I have plenty of food to eat, while there are many who don't have enough. It's a gratifying thing I often overlook when I focus on what I lack. Here I am, in the United States, with the freedom to pursue what I want to challenge. I realize that I have a great life, and I'm so grateful for it. In particular, being here has made me realize that I should enjoy life and work more. Watching how people work and life, even for a short time, showed me this. I began to change little by little when I accepted this idea. I took small steps, like sitting with people from other countries and talking to them when I had the chance. These small changes opened up a new world for me. By talking to people from different countries, I was able to learn what I didn't know and expanded my horizons. Also noticed that my mindset of I have to be like this has faded. Being in America, where people are so friendly and open, encouraged me to be more friendly and open as well. If others can do it, so can I. Even if I tried, I couldn't. It's okay, because it is important to try to do something, and small steps helped me grow up. What about you? Do you compare yourself with someone? So, this study abroad experience has allowed me to meet people who I would never have met in my life if I hadn't come here. And it taught me an important lesson. No one is the same person. No one has had exactly the same experiences. And no one will follow exactly the same path from now on. Therefore, it's okay to be as I am and as you are. Whether a day is tough or joyful, each day passes quickly. This experience has taught me to appreciate every moment, and I now feel a stronger sense of cherishing each day. So let's enjoy the rest of our life here. Thank you for your kind attention.
I became a butterfly. Butterfly come from caterpillars. Before becoming butterflies, pupae live inside their cocoon for months, knowing nothing, simply growing. Then they emerge as a butterfly and spread their wings into the world. Looking back, I spent my time in Japan as a caterpillar, only able to see what was right at my feet. After I came here, everything seemed enormous. I wanted to learn new things from a higher perspective, like a butterfly, seeing everything from above. From here, I'd like to share with you what I felt and learned. On March 2nd, I came to the place I had dreamed about so long. I was looking forward to coming here because I used to watch Disney Channel when I was a child. I had strong expectations. Even though I could become an American star, and I was proud of myself for studying abroad. However, at the beginning of it, I was really afraid of learning something new. I didn't want to see anything. It felt like if I learned something new, I might forget my memories in Japan or be forgotten by my friends. For the first few weeks, I shut myself in my room, cried, overwhelmed by the pressure to study English. Back then, I was like a pupa, knowing nothing, simply growing. Everything was new, so I tried to adjust to cultures, atmospheres, and to be more like an American. But I felt disappointed because despite coming to my dream place, I couldn't do anything. But one day, I realized I should embrace who I am, even if I can't do everything. Just like a butterfly doesn't need to force its transformation, I learned to accept myself through all of my experiences here. For instance, my house mother quietly continued to watch over me. When I felt unmotivated, down, and didn't feel like going outside, she respected my feelings and tried to understand me. I believe most people might think exchange students should go outside actively. But my host family supported me at my own pace. This helped me embrace myself and emerge from my cocoon. Since I could spread my wings, I've been able to understand various people's perspective and religions deeply. I could make friends here in Washington. I could fulfill my dream of going to Disneyland with my beloved friends. I learned another thing while I've been living here: how much I love and have been loved by my family, and the importance of my friends. My mother has been a single parent who raised me over 20 years. She supports me even now, despite having 3 children. I deeply respect her because she sent me to this country without any hesitation. I really want to say thank you, and I love you, and give her a hug. In addition, I really want to say thank you to my friends and teachers. I can express my feeling with confidence now because of all of your kindness. I love you guys. Various experiences on this journey open the doors of the new world. I've transformed from a caterpillar into a butterfly. And I've learned the importance of embracing my bad side and good side. Everything I've learned, even the worst experiences, has helped me improve myself as a whole. When you feel anxious, nervous, rush doing something, don't you worry. Everything will be fine. Go with the flow. Someday, you will realize who you are, and it will improve you. Now, as I spread my wings, I will continue to learn more and more new things about the world with my wings. Thank you for listening.
Okay, I'd like to first thank our judges for joining us today. We have Christine Kobayashi, the Dean of International Education, and Joel Ozertich, he's from the ESL teaching staff, and Amanda Fletcher, Director of OIP. We have Botra Chang from the Budget Office, and Jonetta Moore. You might have seen her in the library helping you out. Okay. And we have Kotomi Ortiz, HEF Instructor Advisor, and Mr. Perry Gibson, the Housing Associate Director. And I think our HTESL instructors as well, Emily Anderson, and Olivia Elliott, and Celine Kolak. And we have special guests. Some host families joined us today. Thank you so much for coming. So, students don't get to judge today. Only listen and enjoy. So, in terms of the award for bravery and effort, we had a 9-way tie. Okay. I mean, everybody was great. We appreciate your courage and your effort in making a speech and practicing a speech and sharing your feelings with us. It's very nice to hear what's on your mind. Okay. So to thank you, we have a prize for everybody. So everybody got a magnificent prize that I'm sure they're thrilled with. It's a book of famous speeches from the 20th century. Okay. Someday you will be able to read all of those. So keep practicing, okay? So, like I said, today we have 9 winners. We have no losers today, but in order to inspire you to practice, we made it a speech contest. So a contest means we evaluated your speeches and we chose the ones that we liked best for different categories. So let me share those results with you. First, we have the best speech for each class, A class, B class, C class. So the superior speech in A class goes to Mr. Satoru Okada. So these certificates, of course, we didn't have time to print the student's name, so we have a temporary certificate. It's just handwritten, it's like this. So later, I'll give you a formal, better one. Okay, but for now, please take it. And superior speech in B class goes to Miss Yu Masumoto. The superior speech in C class goes to Miss Mika Honda. Then we have some awards for different categories, not by class, but anybody. Okay? So the first one is for inspiration. It means the content was the most inspiring. Okay? This award goes to Yu Masumoto. Next is the award for sincerity, or, showing your true feeling. This award goes to Monet Imai. Okay. We have an award for eloquence. Eloquence means the style of speaking, the delivery of the speech. This one goes to Mika Honda. And the final award is the student who got the most votes for all categories. So it's the overall excellent speech. This one goes to Wakana Nakamoto. Okay, so students in the audience, please be sure to submit your assignment sheet because, they were already collected. Good. Okay. Okay, so I think now I want to congratulate you all one more time, and if you got a certificate, paper, that's great. If not, still, you're great. So please believe that. Okay? Okay, and I think we're finished, right? Yeah. So we're going to take some group photos, and that's all, folks.